Development of paper and pencil tests requires careful planning and expertise in terms of actual test construction. The more seasoned teacher can provide true or false items that can test even higher order thinking skills and not just rote memory. Good day everyone! So today we are going to discuss constructing selected response test type, specifically true or false test. So binomial choice or alternate response tests are tests that have only two options such as true or false, right or wrong, yes or no, good or better, check or cross out, and so on. So a student who knows nothing of the content of the examination would have 50% chance of getting the correct answer by sheer guesswork. Although correction for guessing formulas exist, it is best that the teacher ensures that a true or false item is able to discriminate properly between those who know and those who are just guessing. So a modified true or false test can offset the effect of guessing by requiring the students to explain their answers and to disregard a correct answer if the explanation is incorrect. So now, let's proceed to the guidelines in constructing alternate response test. Rule number 1. Do not give a hint in the body of the question. For example, the Philippines gained its independence in 1898 and therefore celebrate its centennial year in 2000. Obviously, the answer is false because 100 years from 1898 is not 2000 but 1998. Rule number 2. Avoid using the words always, never, often, and other adverbs that tend to be either always true or always false. For example, Christmas always falls on a Sunday because it is a Sabbath day. So the statement that use the word always are almost always false. A test-wise student can easily guess his way through a test like this and get high scores even if he does not know anything about the test. Rule number 3. Avoid long sentences as these tend to be true, so keep sentences short. For example, tests need to be valid, reliable, and useful, although it would require a great amount of time and effort to ensure that the test possess these test characteristics. So notice that the statement is true. However, we are also not sure which part of the sentence is deemed true by these students. So it is just fortunate that in this one case, all parts of the sentence are true and hence the entire sentence is true. The following example illustrates what can go wrong in long sentences. For example, tests need to be valid, reliable, and useful since it takes very little amount of time, money, and effort to construct tests with these characteristics. So the first part of the sentence is true, but the second part is debatable and may in fact be false. So thus a true response is correct and also a false response is correct. Rule number 4. Avoid trick statements with some minor misleading words or spelling anomaly, misplaced phrases, and among others. A wise student who does not know the subject matter may detect this strategy and thus get the correct answer. So for example, the principal of our school is Mr. Albert P. Panadero. So the principal's name may actually be correct, but since the word is misspelled and the entire sentence takes a different meaning, the answer would be false. So this is an example of a tricky but utterly useless item. Rule number 5. Avoid quoting verbatim from sentence materials or textbooks. This practice sends the wrong signal to the students that is necessary to memorize the textbook word for word and thus acquisition of higher level thinking skills is not given due importance. Rule number 6. Avoid specific determiners or giveaway qualifiers. Students quickly learn that strongly worded statements are more likely to be false than true. For example, statements with never, no, all, or always. Moderately worded statements are more likely to be true than false. So statements with many, often, sometimes, generally, frequently, or some should be avoided. So last but not the least is the rule number 7. With the true or false questions, avoid a grossly disproportionate number of either true or false statements or even patterns in the occurrence of true or false statements. So here are other suggestions for writing true or false questions. Include only one main idea in each item. Try in using in combination with other materials such as graphs, maps, and other written materials. This combination allows for the testing of more advanced learning outcomes. Use statements which are unequivocally true or false. Avoid lifting statements directly from assigned reading, lecture notes, or other course material so that recall alone will not permit a correct answer. That's all for constructing alternate response test type, specifically the true or false test. Thank you for watching and God bless.